Okay, so I had a question, which was, how do I don't know if it was like, how do I know introvertedness is a spirit um, or something like that. But I'll put the question up if I can up on the screen. But, okay, so, I asked God to help me, so all credit go to God. I don't want the glory. I'm going to say this in every video. I don't want the glory. I just want to help people. Now, introvertedness, I'm going to give y'all a couple of traits. It says a person predominantly concerned with their thoughts and feelings rather than with external things. What I felt in my spirit and upon doing research was that this introvertedness type junk is linked to the spirit of rejection. It says you may have grew up in an environment of rejection. Traits include social awkwardness, which is anxiety. You get anxiety around crowds and stuff like that. Misunderstood, lack of confidence or competence, emotional management, which means you find it hard to cope with your emotions or manage them. You wallow in your emotions versus getting help. Difficult for you to fit in, stress, and a hard time trusting. Now, when I went over some of these, I was like, hold on, this kind of sound like what prophets go through. So what God highlighted to me was that you're not an introvert. You're just, what he said, you're not an introvert. You're just sensitive in the spirit. So a lot of these traits and characteristics us children of God be feeling. But what happens is because you don't really know yourself in Christ, because you're on this journey of trying to figure out who you are in Christ and who you are as a person, it's easy for us to gravitate to worldly titles. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a bunch of people that be like, oh, I act this way because I'm a Libra. I act this way because I'm a Leo. I act this way because I'm a Sagittarius. And zodiac signs are also demonic. They're spirits. I remember a while back, God gave me the book of Enoch to read, which is one of the books that was taken out of the Bible. And the book of Enoch described how the fallen angels came down and taught mankind how to worship the sun, the moon, the stars. And that's where all this zodiac stuff come from. It's from that the stuff the fallen angels had taught mankind and stuff like that. And so they began to worship the sun, the moon, and the stars, and all this other stuff that they weren't supposed to worship. God said there's no other gods above him. There is no other. You should worship the Lord your God only. And so, yeah, how people use the excuse of zodiacs to to say why their personality is the way it is. No, zodiacs didn't give you your personality. The Lord gave you your personality. Zodiacs could be the reason why you act rude or you act mean or you act like deceitful and you jealous and you envious because you're claiming a spirit. So it could very well be the reason why you're jealous, envious, devious, and deceitful, because you're coming to agreement with a demonic spirit, that demonic spirit causing you to feel and think the way you do. So come out of agreement with that. God said you're not an introvert, you're just sensitive in the spirit. Everything happens in the spiritual before it happens in the physical. And then some can argue and say, well, Brianna, how stuff happened in the spiritual before it happened in the physical? Well, God gave me the book of Genesis, and it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Not the earth and the heavens, but the heavens and the earth. Can you see the heavens? Like, look around your room. Look outside. Can you see the heavens? No. The heavens is spiritual. So the spiritual came before the physical, which was the earth. The earth is physical. The heavens is spiritual. And even before then, it says God's spirit was over the face of the waters. His spirit was over the face of the water. Spirit. So the spirit comes first. Then I got Jeremiah 1:5, which God said, I knew you before you were in your mother's womb. How possibly can God know you before you were in your mother's womb? Spiritually. Like, you were a spiritual being before you came into this physical body. And so introvertedness is connected to introvertedness is a spirit. Introvertedness is connected to rejection. Rejection is connected to oppression. Oppression is connected to mental pressure. Mental pressure is basically mental illness. Mental illness is a spirit. I did research. All I did was I did my research. And then I took it to the Bible to see what God said about it. And then I wrote it down. It says the root cause of rejection, which is linked to introvertedness. The root cause of rejection is childhood experiences like critical parents and bullying, along with biological factors and genetics, meaning what God said yesterday. It's something that runs in your generation. It's something that runs in your bloodline. And that's why it's called generational curses. Because these are curses. Introvertedness is a spirit. Rejection is a spirit. All these things are generational curses that God has called you to break. And like I said, when we're trying to fight, it's easy for children of God. When we're trying to fight, we don't have people around us telling us, oh, this is who you truly are. And like, they're not teaching us who we are in Christ. That's why I don't get some of these churches, because they just talk. They don't talk like real facts, bro. Like, teach these people who they is in Christ so that they not gravitating to world titles. The world will give you a title before the church show you who you really are in Christ. So like, you, like, some people think just because they're masculine and they not like overly feminine with nails and makeup and all this stuff, that just because they're masculine, the world teaches them that, oh, if you're masculine, then you might as well be gay. If you're, just like they teach men, oh, if you, it cut off, but I'm like I said, just like they teach men, if you look feminine, that you might as well be gay or something like that. No, it's like that. Just because you're a little feminine or you're a little masculine, that don't, the world teaches you, oh, you might as well be gay, you might as well do this, you might as well, you know what I'm saying? And that's never the case. We find false identities before we find our real identity. We find counterfeit identities before we find our real identity. It's hard for children of God to find who they are in the world because we don't have, some people fortunate, but a lot of us aren't fortunate enough to have people in our corner telling us, no, you're not this, you're this. Like, no, you're not an introvert, you're a child of God. No, you're not an introvert, you're just sensitive in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. So I hope that answered the question.